Here we have the all-new 2022 Nissan Frontier. And this one comes in the S trim level in gun metallic on charcoal cloth interior. And the powertrain consists of a 3.8 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine, made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And that gets you 310 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. And here's our front end here. And down here we have 16-inch steel wheels. And here are the controls for the power windows and power door locks. And there's our driver's seat. Let's hop back here and check out the leg room. So that's what we're looking at. I'm 6'3" and I have the seat in front of me adjusted pretty tightly for someone of my size. But you could fit 5 full-size adults back here, just depending on their height. And I have about an inch of headroom, maybe a little more. And then down here you have a USB-C and USB charging port. And I like how they put that even in the S, along with your center seat with cup holders. So now let's check out the cargo space. And there's a view of our rear end there. And there is our bed with our drop-down liner in there. And there's our front passenger seat. And I'm just going to give you all a quick look at the window sticker. So that's what an S will run you right there. And there's that 3.8 liter naturally aspirated V6. And now we're gonna go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So here's our steering wheel here, and I really like the overall look of it, and I like the feel of it so far. And then over here to our radio, we have AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And then we also have our Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And this is our home page here. And those are kind of the views you can choose from. And there's our backup camera with guidelines there. And down here, we have our climate controls. And then we have our parking sensor toggle here, and then we have a USB-C input and a USB-A input, and we can run that to our phones for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And here's our shifter. So we just hit this button behind, reverse neutral drive, and then we can slap over to manually shift here. And there's our center console cubby space. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And there's our glove compartment with our owner's manuals. And over to the left side of the steering wheel, we can go through our source. So between AM, FM, XM, and then if we have another device hooked up, we can do that. And then we have this button here, or sorry, this toggle here to go up and down on our radio stations, as you can see here. And then we have this here to go through our gauge cluster. So we're gonna leave it right there. And then we have volume controls, Bluetooth controls here. And on the right side of the steering wheel, we have our cruise controls, which we'll test out on the drive, and then we can adjust the gap for that, and then set, resume, or cancel the speeds here. And there's our push button start. Finally, here's our key fob. But next, we're gonna go ahead and take this 2022 Frontier S out on the road for a quick test drive. So pretty good acceleration, and I really like the aggressive sound coming from the engine bay. And for this to be a 9-speed automatic, I actually don't feel a lot of shifting going on, which I like, as I'm just cruising down a 55-mile-an-hour stretch of road. Just a nice cruise. And there's no jerking at all coming from the shifts. You can just barely feel them. And what I like about this Frontier is it's not anything crazy special, but it feels like a better Frontier. So the ride quality has gotten better. It's not smooth by any sense, but it has that old rugged little truck feel that everybody loves, which is why they bought Frontiers for years. but it's just a little bit better. And I still love that it has that really stiff steering feel. And you can kind of feel what's going on as you're driving, especially if you want to go off-road or something like that. And I will say, even with these manual seats, the ride is pretty comfortable. And you can adjust the seat, at least the forward and back position of the back, and then the bottom cushion forward and back, which is about what you'll need. Because most people, I mean, if you wanted to take this on a road trip, you could, but most people are going to use this for just light work around the house. And one thing I wish I had on this S was drive mode selectors, because I feel like that would make the drive a lot more enjoyable to choose between those. But we're gonna use the manual shift on the shifter and see how that does. Definitely has some pull to it. So let's test out this adaptive cruise here. And it's already slowing the vehicle down to keep that safe distance between myself and this car in front of me. So even though I have it set to 75, it's doing about 68. And I like how smooth it is. When the car started braking in front of me, didn't slam the brakes unnecessarily. Just slowly let off. And now it's gonna start speeding back up. And the wind noise is actually not as intrusive as I would have expected on a truck like this. So that's impressive there. And then the hood height is pretty typical of the segment, but I like how it's just flat and it's not overly in my face. But so far, not a bad truck for $33,000. And this will bring me to an end of my review of the 2022 Nissan Frontier S.